So
that's what I do mine.
All right, I'm going live, guys. Man, that was quick. All right. Welcome from the Crossroads of America, a talk show shooting with disabilities, but we also talk guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Answer questions from the audience. Either put them in the chat box or email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page, PayPal, all the other good stuff in the info section below. So got that out of the way. Let's see who was here first. Let's see. Gun-loving Grandpa was here first. Then Jason Stewart. Then Mystic Guns. Then Guns and Barbecue. Then Jerry Parker. Sabrina's here. Raphael. And that's it so far. People are starting to trickle in because I've gone live. So that's good. That's good. All right. Introduce my panel. First up here in my corner is Jason Stewart. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good today, Rick. Thanks for the invite. It's good to see everybody.
Yeah. Then we got New York Outcast.
hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Then we got Guns and Barbecue.
Good evening, Rick. Thank you.
Yeah. Then we got Wheelchair Luke.
Hey guys, good to be back.
Yeah, good to see you. Yeah. So, as I was saying before we went live, I did go shooting yesterday. I shot about 20 rounds out of the AR-15 trying to get my iron sights, targeted in. But most of the time, I shot maybe 100 rounds of 22. I've got thousands of rounds of 22. And so I don't mind shooting those, And
Don't say that live; you'll get robbed.
And I was I was setting the sights on. I got a little Winchester Model 150 22, and it came with I actually traded my cousin for my 15-22. Because I hardly ever shot that thing, even though I liked it. I didn't. I mean, that's what. Even though I liked it, I didn't shoot it, so I swapped it, and I got this lever action 22, and it came with a scope on it. So I was getting the scope lined up, and damn, I'm good with that thing. So I'm meant to be going squirrel hunting. The season starts here in Indiana in August, so I'm hoping because of my, as you all know, I've had my right hip done, my left hip done. Was done almost 4 years ago now. So my right's done. The only thing that, besides the arthritis, the worst thing is my back with the spinal stenosis. I mean, it's constant pain all day. But I get used to it. I mean, it mainly bothers me at night, or like right now, it's about ready to rain here in Indiana. We're meant to get. I ain't got one of those stands yet. There, New York Outcast.
Yeah, I was just showing the 15-22 there. So.
Oh, okay. I thought you were showing the stand.
What you gave up, but at least you ended up getting a big brother anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Which one's the 22, Rob? The one in the front or the back?
The one in the back.
Okay. You got a red dot on it.
The little Walmart red dot on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Works fine. Believe it or not. So I've got the sites we were speaking of earlier for it as well, which I should put back on, but they won't co-witness with this. But being, more of a toy in a sense, I'm not too concerned with it. So that one obviously is co-witness, but yeah, I was just showing what he lost, what he gave up, sucker.
I didn't know New York people could have weapons of war like that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, they're neutered, unfortunately. The grip's like cut off on the one. It's not cut off, but that's a spur AR grip or whatever, and the other one has the other style that's legal. So basically, it's a pain.
Hey, that
Definitely
curved one
changes
does look
things.
kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, people say that, but I don't know. I just like standard, basic. So it sucks to pay to get something, and then down the line you got to pay to change it around, and then they're not sure on the law. Then you might have to change it again, and then maybe if you're lucky, you can change it back later. It's just it's all a bunch of BS.
The guy that comment says cool airsoft, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, what was I talking about?
You was shooting. You was getting ready for squirrel hunting.
No, yeah. So the 22 has a sight on it, so I've signed it in, and I'm pretty dead. Man, just call me Eagle Eye for that thing. You know, I couldn't seem to miss yesterday. But where I was going with this is I was standing up most of the. I said I shot about 100 rounds. You know, I would shoot, then my friend would be shoot. I would stop and he would shoot his gun for a little while. But I was standing up, and we made a sort of like a stand to lean against. You know, if I could lean the gun on it, before I could hold it steady when I was shooting it. But by the end of yesterday, last night, when I was sitting there cleaning the guns, my back was absolutely killing me. I mean, it got so bad I had to take a couple of Excedrins to kill the pain. I know people say Excedrins are for headaches, but I use them from a stubbed toenail to a headache. I use them; they're my miracle drug, you know. So I had to take that last night just to make it through. But anyway, where I'm going, here's the funny thing: I'm cleaning. I pull out. I clean the AR, get that all done, put it all back together, no problem. Now, I had the whatchamacallit in my hand, the Winchester, and I managed to push out the pin, and it doesn't come out all the way. I have it upside down for the lever action is on top, so I can pull the pin out. Then I can lift the. Well, anyway, for some unknown reason, I turned the gun over to pull the pin out. As soon as I pulled the pin out, the action fell out and everything else fell out all over the floor. And I cleaned it all. Then I couldn't remember how to put it back together. So I went to good old YouTube, found me a video how to reassemble it. And once I saw it on there, I went, oh, goddamn, that's so simple. I feel an idiot now, you know, but I got it all back together.
Yeah, YouTube's great for that when you can find something to help you. Yeah, you know, especially like new gun owners or a new gun to you. You don't know anything about it. I mean, you'd just be totally lost without YouTube.
Yeah. And sometimes I find using YouTube is I can read it in the book, but I understand it better if I'm watching somebody do it.
Yeah, sometimes you can watch enough videos and you'll see like a couple people and each of them did it a little different or something too. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But anyway, so I got it all pulled back together and everything put away. You know, I saved my AR brass. You know, if I can reload. I said I got everything now except for powder. But I'm working on that. I went over to my cousin's. I went to breakfast this morning, and I left there a few minutes early to go over to my cousin's to scrounge some powder off him. But he wasn't home. He must have saw me coming and went and hid or something. But he wasn't home, so I'll give him a call tomorrow to see if he's home before I go over there. You know? So, because, I only want... Yes, I would love to have loads of powder and shit. But just give me I told him I'll pay him. I said, just sell me a half pound, you know? And he said he'd take care of me. So whether that means paying him or he's giving it to me, I'm not sure yet. But that's my next thing. But besides that, you know, like right now, my back's hurting right now because it's about ready to rain. the weather changing. People laugh at me when I say it's going to rain, you know, and they go, "How many? They ain't a cloud in the sky." I said, "I'm telling you, it's going to rain because of the arthritis and my joints hurt like hell."
Rick, same thing happens to me whenever it gets ready to rain.
Yeah.
The screws and the bolts and the rods in my back start to swell up. You can see them pressing against my skin. Like it looks real weird. But like where I'm at right now, it is getting ready to rain, and I can, I reach back right where I broke my back and where everything's at, and I can feel the actual screws and everything. So I know what you mean. It hurts.
Oh yeah, and I mentioned it to a doctor once, and he said people laugh, but it's true. He said what it is the atmosphere, the barometric pressure or something changes in the atmosphere, and that's what causes your joints to hurt. So it sounded plausible to me, so I'm going with it. You know,
I've got a slight case of arthritis, or so I was told, but I don't notice anything before the rain that I'm aware of. So I'll try to be more perceptive, I guess. But I wonder if it's just in severe cases, or
it might be. I mean, because I
certain people can pick up on it.
The only place I don't have arthritis now is in my two hips, because they've both been replaced. Because when they replace them and they take them out, they take all the arthritis out with it. You know, so but my knees got arthritis, my shoulders, my elbows, my wrists, my hands, even down to my ankles. So when I change, I ache. Let's put it that way. Which like right now, my hands I can feel my hands starting to hurt.
Rick, you sound like you're falling apart, buddy.
It's old age is what it is. But normally what I'll do is I'll put on my if it gets, it's meant to rain now from tonight for a whole 24 hours, it claims. So I'm more likely after the show I'll put on my compression gloves that I have for my hands, and that'll be all right. Yeah, Sabrina, she says with that fibromyalgia, I can never pronounce it. Fibromyalgia, how you ever pronounce it? She says
fibromyalgia. Now I can't say it. I can't say that.
Yeah.
Well, you know the thing.
Yeah. Well, Sabrina has that, and she says
we know.
She can tell when the weather's changing too.
The thing in the commercials.
It's that's part of being the arthritis is. And that's why I take the miracle stuff, the hydrochloroquine. That is for my arthritis. I've been taking it for about 5 years now. And it seems that I didn't think it was doing anything because I'm in constant pain all the time. But I weaned myself off it once. And oh my God, after a few days, my pain was getting worse, and I wasn't sure what it was because I meant to take it twice a day. I started taking it just once a day. Then I was taking it once every other day. Then I finally stopped. And oh my God, I was dying after a couple of days, with the pain. So I started taking it again, and it eased back down to a constant. I would say with my back and my arthritis, I'm a constant on the pain scale of 1 to 10. I would say I'm a constant 3 all day, 24/7. Some days are worse than others, but that's an average. What in the hell was that? New York.
Lizard. Damn things running around here like crazy.
I thought that's what that was. I wasn't sure of. First off, I saw it and I thought, God damn, we're in the land of the dinosaurs, but then I realized it was a lizard.
Oh man, that was a self-portrait. Jeez. Thanks.
Yeah. So otherwise, I'm doing good. I was asked that, like my hips do not bother me at all. The only thing I have is I have an imaginary. Well, if I don't stop and think about it, I'll walk with a limp, because that's what I've been doing for so many years, and there's no reason for me to limp. So I'm trying to break the habit. A lot of times what I have to do is, like, if I'm getting out of the truck or getting up out of a chair, a lot of times if I just go off and start walking, I normally limp. But if I stop and go, I sort of go like left, right to get going, then normally I can walk without a limp. So that's what I've been doing, trying to get rid of the limp that I supposedly still have. But besides that, I said life is good. I said I got the arthritis, I got the bad back. It's just part of, now. I haven't seen a surgeon here for my spinal stenosis. The last surgeon I saw for that, when I was in Rhode Island, said he wouldn't operate on me until I had both hips done. Well, I got them both done now, but I'm not in Rhode Island, because he said you got to have a stable, flat, stable level platform to stand on if I'm going to do your back, he goes. Because what he wants to do is between down the bottom. Is it L1, the first one down the bottom? But he wants to go from L1 to L6 or something. He wants to do a big, long thing about this long. He wants to take 2 thin slices out of each side of my spine to relieve the pressure inside there. And that does not appeal to me whatsoever.
Do you have orthotics, Rick?
The what?
Do you have orthotics?
No.
In your sneakers?
No.
Okay. I'm kind of shocked I didn't bring that up to you. Might be something to look into. I figured maybe you did and they didn't change them, and that may also be contributing to your walk now. Maybe consider looking into it, because it might help in a sense. Just help. I don't know. It's just a lot to explain. I'm not a doctor.
I'll look into it.
Yeah. They have like the Dr. Scholl's ones you can stand on. They're like $45. They work pretty well. I use those. I've got like plastic ones that I was issued. I've got a few that I was issued in a sense, and then I've gotten some from doctors out on the outside, and I'm just buying them now at the store. It just seems to work better. But Neil said it might be something to look into, like in your natural walk and gait, and how your foot aligns and everything. So basically, from the bottom up, everything goes to shit. Your feet go bad, your ankles, your hips, your legs, your back, everything kind of works its way up.
All right. So
don't they have a Dr. Scholl's machine that you stand on?
Yes. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, I've seen those in CVS. Well,
Yeah.
Actually, I would say about 5 years ago, when I was waiting to pick up a prescription, I took my shoes off and went on one of those. And it said I needed the top of the line, the highest one.
They're all like the same price. They're just different fits.
Well, I didn't mean
general
price
fit.
It's not because the way they are sized by whatever that machine says, and mine was sort of like the highest one they do, So, but that was I don't forget I had bad hip when I had that done, So I could have been favoring one leg over the other, leaning one way. You know what I'm saying? To keep the pressure off the hip. Because if I remember, I'd done that before I even had my left hip I've done that before. I even had my left hip replaced. So there we go. Hey, but that's part of being, this getting old, being disabled. That's what I mean. My disability is based on my spinal stenosis, believe it or not. That's what they disabled me on. Spinal stenosis, severe spinal stenosis. And that's what the doctor put down. I think he put spinal stenosis combined with severe arthritis. I think that's what he put down when they asked the doctor why I should be disabled. I think that's what he said, if I remember correctly. Because when you're filing, I don't know, when I filed for disabled, I filed online. I just done my portion, and then they wanted your name of your doctor, and his address, which I did, and then the Social Security Department or whoever sends the info to them, and they fill it out and send it back. I don't see it, but my doctor said they filled it out, and that's what he basically put down.
Well, at least you haven't had any pressure sores yet.
No.
Have you had those?
No.
Oh, you don't want them. Trust me, buddy. They're the worst thing. I don't wheel and well armed. Have you ever had one?
Yeah, I've got them on my outside of my legs and ankles just from rubbing the chair.
Yeah. Do you know what they are, Rick? You ever heard of those?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I had one bad enough that it tunneled from the back of my spine, like my tailbone, the whole way into the front of my pelvis and down my femur.
Damn.
I had to actually have reconstructive surgery. They pulled muscle from my leg up into the wound. I was on bed rest. I couldn't even sit up for 6 months. They shaved bone down, and I almost was being septic with the or sepsis with the blood. So I had to give myself antibiotic shots every day. Yeah, that that's fun to do.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that you didn't land up with more sores by laying in bed for so long.
Yeah, it was about as fun as doing my taxes.
Yeah, I can believe it. So, how's that new? I saw that video of yours, Will and Well Armed. Were you drawn from that pistol? So, it's working out okay?
Yeah, I really like that new holster. It's working out well.
Yeah, but I think you thought you were some gunfighter when you claimed 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't close to 2.5. It was like 5 seconds.
I know, that's what I'm saying. At the beginning, you said to me about 2.5 seconds, and you saw the times coming up. I think your best one was 4.89 or something. I think.
Well, I think I had a 4:17.
Is that what it was? I know it was in the 4s.
Yeah,
but the average was 5.
Right, it was a solid 5.
Yeah. So
if you guys are stationary for a long period of time, especially in chairs and whatnot, you probably know. I believe that you probably know better than me, but I believe they offer kind of like they're almost like socks, but they're not. They're like pants, not compression socks. They're like the stuffing, the packing that comes in packages, the air pockets. It's kind of like balloon pants type deal. And it plugs into a little compressor, and it changes the pressure on your surface, your legs, things like that. Almost how the beds do it in the hospitals. But these are direct to your legs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those, have those, but obviously if you're stationary for a long time, something like that, might be useful to prevent any further sores, from not moving.
That's for somebody that's pretty severe, like in a power chair, and has I think it'd be a much higher level even than myself, or definitely more than Luke would be. But somebody,
Okay.
yeah, somebody has almost, no arm control, no leg control, but almost no arm control. Those are the guys that would typically have those type of things. I see them in the VA a lot.
Would you see it as still being a benefit, even not being that severe? Something maybe just to put on for a couple hours a day while you're just on the computer or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, if I take my feet out of my chair, my feet will spasm for 15 minutes and do exercises on their own.
Okay.
So it's kind of like my legs are kind of like doing isometrics all the time. They're just fighting the chair the whole time.
Or maybe in bed when you lay down to sleep or something throughout the night. That way there's some stimulation,
That's
even
when
though you're.
That's when I would use them.
Just throwing ideas out.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite. I need something to keep I do the frog, so my legs are constantly moving. I have to have a heavy blanket to keep me from moving because I get sore from all the movement on my ankles.
Oh yeah. Do you wear those night boots and everything, the Prefos?
Yeah, I've got one I wear, and because usually I'll flip over and start sleeping a different way, and then put it on the downside leg, and wear that for like 6 months, then flip over. Yeah.
Lots of different fun things not being able to feel below your waist, huh, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I feel for you. I mean, I'm trying not, I'm not pity or whatever, but I feel for you. You know what I mean? Because I feel what I've gone through, and how can I put this without sounding, in some ways, I'm grateful that's all I've got wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm saying.
We're grateful too. We're grateful we're not full quadriplegics or complete invalids like Christopher Reed's. So
but I think
everybody's appreciative of what they've got, right?
Yeah, but I think it's great how you guys go out there and shoot and all kinds of stuff. Even like Patriot here, he's stuck into the room without saying anything.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, we can barely, but we can hear you.
I had this thing muted. I'm trying to figure. I'm on a desktop. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Interrupt. I'm sneaking. I'm hiding in the corner.
Yeah.
But I will say this though, the one thing I've been trying to work on with my just shooting with a disability is I've been trying to get a hold of mats, like the ones you used to use in like gym class when you were a kid, or like gymnastic mats, because I really want to try to film a video of me getting tipped over backwards and drawing from a holster and shooting from that position. And I mean, like, a lot of my friends are like, I'll come tip you over. No problem. I'm like, well, you know what? We got to find something to do,
Oh, man.
But, I guess the way I looked at it was I was like, okay, if I'm going to get robbed or something or beat down, the chances are I'm going to end up on my back, with, someone's just going to flip me over. But it's really hard to find somebody, that I trust to be like, okay, we're going to do this as easy as I can, as opposed to some of my friends where they're just going to like flip me over, laugh, and then just walk away. And I'm like, dude, you got to help me, bro.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something though because I've looked on YouTube for videos like that, and I've seen maybe 1 or 2 videos like that, but they were single or double amputees, and they didn't have to worry about their legs coming back and busting their nose off. So that's something that I've been looking into. I can't even ask. My brother offered to do that, and I asked him if you're going to pick me up. He goes, "No, I'm just going to go home."
Yeah. No, here's a question for you. For argument's sake, say you were tipped over and you managed to draw your pistol and shoot the person who was attacking you. Or even in practice, can you? I mean, you have to have help to get back into your wheelchair. You can't sort of drag yourself in there somehow with your arms strength or something.
I can't.
Oh, you can.
No, I cannot.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Oh, go ahead, buddy.
but I do have a. If I'm at home alone, I do have a paraladder, and it's like a staircase, and I just kind of go up it backwards, and then I put the chair behind it with the wall behind that,
Oh, okay.
and so I can get into my chair if I do fall down.
What's
I'm
it
home
called?
alone.
I want to look at one of those.
It's called a paraladder.
Oh, I'll have to look that because
Got it.
for me, I'm able to, and I think I'm quite a bit younger than you and better looking.
Yeah.
But
What a prick.
who, me? Yeah, I know. But no, I'm able to get off the ground, off onto a flat ground, into my chair. I did it a lot whenever I was playing sled hockey for Pittsburgh. Did that quite a bit, but it's tough to do that. And I will say this though, is that I do every year. I got a friend who's a professor at Duquesne University, and that's something that she actually asks me for her OT students to look at me doing, is how to move around, getting from the ground into a chair that's probably, what would you say, wheel and well armed, like anywhere between what, like 2.5 to 3.5 feet tall, something like that?
No, my chair's 21 inches off the ground.
Okay. Yours is a little bit shorter than mine, but that's, I'm able to, but, not everybody can.
No,
True.
I mean, for me to transfer to my rugby chair or to my, I've got a real low bicycle. That's a pretty hard transfer. Is going down to the bicycle and back up.
Yeah, there was a guy when I played sled hockey for Pittsburgh. He would just carry around. It was 2 pieces of 2x4 wood, just in a block shape, that he would just carry around with him, and just that little bit of, just that little bit was just enough for him to get in. So that was kind of cool, I thought. But I want to look into that ladder too. That looks cool.
Yeah, the paraladder is pretty neat. I've got it under my bed, so usually when I fall, it's either in the kitchen or the bedroom, but more than likely the bedroom.
All right, so there we go. It's amazing, I tell you. It really is. Talking about that, I did almost fall over today because coming in my back door, it's got to be, I don't know, my step from outside into the house has got to be at least that tall. At least what was that? A foot, 10 inches?
Something like that.
It's a fair sized step, and when I step into it, I can't. Right, I still haven't. As I said, everything's going fine, but I have to step in with my left foot, my left leg, and step in to put the weight on my left leg to lift myself up. I can't do it that high with my right yet. That's the only thing that I haven't been able to do with my new hip yet. But I tried it today. I put my right foot inside the door. I held on to the door for stability and stood on my right leg, stood on my, and pulled myself up there, and man, I nearly fell over.
It's amazing what you can, though, the way you have to look at different things anymore once you are disabled, whether it's visually impaired, physically impaired, the way you got to look at stuff, it's so different. There was you guys watch Family Guy?
I haven't in a long time.
There was a skit they did, and Joe, the guy in the wheelchair in it, he went up to a house and there was like a little stoop step, and he goes, "Oh, the first step, the cripple's worst enemy." So I always think about that because I mean I go to places where I can't get up, and luckily if I go places like that, I have somebody help me. But no, it's really interesting to hear about what other people with disabilities, I guess, how they view what they have to do for everyday normal life situations. And
Today I went to
touched on.
I went to get my passport redone for my family. 3 kids, they have to do it every 5 years. So we get to the passport office. The elevator's broken. They say I have to go around 3 sides of the building to come in the front door. The front door has no parking lot. It's just 10 feet off the street. So I have to go all the way around there. And, I mean, it's a pretty long ways. I mean, and there's one part that doesn't even have a curb cut. So my wife had to push me up the curb. I mean, just be impossible to get to if you were alone.
Mm-hmm. There was, what was it? When I went on my hunt, you guys will like this one with the TSA. I was on my way back from my honeymoon with my ex-wife. We were in Jamaica, and the Jamaican airport didn't have a way for me to get through the metal detectors. Usually they, like a Pittsburgh International, where I usually would fly out of, there's a way to get around, or, there's an agent there that, if anybody's disabled, to help. Well, in Jamaica, they didn't have that. So I sat there for 2 hours at the metal detector before they could even get me through. And they kept telling me, can you get up and walk? Can you get through? I'm like, no, I'm in this just because I'm really lazy. I'm like, I can't get up and walk. I was like, that's the whole point of this. And it was a fiasco, because what ended up happening was, I don't know why they didn't do this. They had me go around it and they just wanted me down. And then they scrubbed my wheelchair, every little part, for gun residue. And I'm like, you're probably going to find, and I told them, I was like, you're probably going to find it on there because I shoot firearms. I was like, you're probably going to find it on there. And it was just, I'm like, this was just ridiculous. But the funny part was that my ex-wife was the one that got pulled in to get searched, because her passport was just under 5 years, so it didn't match her picture. They had one of those facial scanner ones. And so we laughed. We were like, yeah, the white girl got looked at and the Asian guy didn't. So
yeah, actually, talking about that, I got to look at my passport, since it's got to be coming up to close to 10 years. Yeah, I got to get that renewed. Even though I don't plan on going anywhere, I like having a passport that's valid. Does that make sense? I always kept my passport valid when I lived overseas, because you never know when you're going to need it.
I don't need a passport. There's no place I'd rather be than the United States of America.
my dog says hi, guys.
Yeah, I see him. Yeah. What was that? Is that a pit bull?
Yeah, he's a pit bull American bully. He's 9 years old and weighs probably about 120 pounds. Okay. I know, I smell like bacon because we had bacon tonight.
That's why he's licking you. He ain't licking you because he likes you.
I wouldn't lick me because I like me.
Yeah. Now, New York Outcast. Did you ever ask the question you wanted to ask?
No, I was just, when they were talking about chairs and falling out and whatnot, the thought came to mind. Is any part of your chair, decent cover? If you are, say somewhere something happens, people run, you get tipped out, and you're kind of stuck there because a lot of people are shitbags. you know, is there anything can you take cover behind your chair? Can you get like a Kevlar lined seat, something like that? Is there a metal plate somewhere that'll give you some type of cover to where you'd be able to get a stable firing position if you were left back or stayed back to defend yourself? I mean, this might seem a little extreme. I don't know, but I've, seen several cases, not several, but seen some cases where that seems to be an issue in crowds.
There is a guy that does a wheelchair EDC, and he is into like the bottom part of your chair that your cushion goes on top of is called a sling, and he's put both aluminum and he's put Kydex in there, and he said Kydex doesn't it flexes too much, but I mean, Luke will say it as well. Chairs make a lot of squeaking noises. I mean, all the time. You could not. I mean, they're just real noisy. But anyway, he was able to get rid of a lot of the squeak by putting an aluminum plate in there. So I've been interested in doing that. So I haven't done it yet.
But you don't have a tactical wheelchair that
no,
you could hide behind.
No. Well, I mean, I don't think aluminum would stop a bullet anyway.
No, I mean, plus, I think if you had a steel plate, I mean, that would be uncomfortable to sit on all day, too, I would imagine.
I guess it would depend, too, on if you could feel that steel plate. I know that, for me, I haven't done it because I don't have the money to buy one, but, just like the front Kevlar plate, or like the Kevlar, or even like the like a SAPI plate, you could, in all theory, put that underneath your cushion into the sling, the sling of your seat. So if something happened, in Boulder, Colorado, or whatever, that if that did happen and you were in the line of fire, that you could, I guess, in theory, tip yourself backwards, use the seat as a bit of a cover to either, fire back, or just, somebody could move the chair while I mean, it's possible. I haven't done it, but I mean, the way I kind of, but it also depends on the size of your ass. That's a big thing too. I mean, I'm a smaller built guy. So if I wanted to use, I see them a lot, like the backpack inserts. Have you guys seen those yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my kids one.
Yeah, you could use one of those technically, I guess, underneath you if you really wanted to. I mean, it's better than nothing. But I've never done it. I haven't tried it yet.
But it'd almost be better to have one in your backpack and carry a backpack with you all the time. At least you wouldn't have to get out of your chair.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a give and take situation. You know what I mean? I haven't tried it, but like I said too, I'm still wanting to try to do something where someone flips me over. Any of you guys want to do that? Want to come to Pittsburgh and flip me over for a day?
And the second part is
we're getting this on video.
Oh yeah, it'll be on video. It'll be like one of those Jackass things where you just it's a quick frame shot of you walking by me flipping me over.
It's not going to turn into some type of hate crime.
But New York, he gets to shoot it. You remember that?
Yeah, right.
No, we're on live right now, so I'm volunteering it.
Oh, there we go. You're a very quiet patriot. Hit the mute button.
Is it working now?
It is, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm distracting.
That's all right. You are very distracting, but
always I try. So.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone.
How you doing?
Hey, buddy.
It's funny. I have my daughter is going to be home for a while.
Why?
Mom is in quarantine, so she won't be going over there, off and on. So, yeah, this should be fun.
Well, your mom, your ex-wife's got COVID?
No, just she looked at somebody and they might have touched a squirrel or whatever. However they figure that shit out.
No, okay.
Yeah, no, she don't have it. So.
Yeah, she might have been in contact with somebody who did.
Who?
Yeah, what a bunch of crap.
Yeah, It's some Common Core math. However they figure that shit out. So.
Yeah, whatever.
Can I ask a question to everybody, Rick?
Yes.
So with a lot of us being disabled in here, does anybody ever really worry about as far as what they would do if they got into a life-threatening situation with their disability? Has anybody ever, like I said, I'm pretty new to this. I don't know if it's ever been talked about, but I'm just curious, what's everyone's mindset on that?
Well, for me, I mean, that's the reason I started. That's the reason I got into firearms, because of my disability. Because I always thought, I got disabled in 2015, and I never had guns before then whatsoever. I bought my first firearm in 2016. So what's that? 5 years? So I've been in firearms for about 5 years. I mean, I always thought that I mean, look at me. I'm 6 foot tall. I'm a big guy. Normally I used to be as strong as an ox. I threw quarters of beef everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. So I was always being strong all my life and stuff. So I thought I was bulletproof. But I got hurt, and one day I was hurt, and I could barely move. And I remember I was at Walmart, and came out of Walmart, and I went, because I still got the same truck I got now, and I was getting in it, and I mean, I just don't open the door and step in. I have to step up on the the running board that I had put on there, then step in. Then I sort of even now I step on that running board type thing. Then I put, now with my new hip, I can put my right foot inside the truck and slide into the seat. Before I had my hip done, I couldn't do that. I would sort of have to turn around on that running board for my back sides facing inside the truck, then sit down on the seat, then turn myself around in the seat. And I thought one day I was doing that, and I'm thinking, if somebody, I don't know what made me think it, but I think there were some undesirables walking by at the time, and I'm thinking, those who, I said, I could be attacked right now, and there's not a damn thing I can do. That's what made me get into firearms. So personally, if I'm attacked, I plan on, if I'm in a situation where I can defend myself, I'm going to pull my firearm. I mean, I actually went, I've said this before, but you're new, Luke. I actually went, I researched training. I found it was a lady. Her name's Daria, and she has a business up in Rhode Island. She does Rhode Island, Massachusetts. It's called what the hell's her show? Daria. I can't remember now what her thing is now. But anyway, she ran a deal is for an hour and a half. It wasn't cheap. It was about $150. And you don't have, all you got to do is bring yourself. She supplied everything that you needed. So, I mean, we spent 45 minutes on safety. Then we went into the range. You know, she supplied the hearing glasses, you know, supplied the firearm, the ammo, everything. And that's how I learned to shoot. And I had to go back to her a second time because first time I went and she taught me I was shooting left-handed. But I was having trouble with my left hand because I didn't realize that at the time, but I had tore all the ligaments up. And so I got a very high tolerance to pain. And it hurt, but I shoot with it. But they finally done an MRI on it or whatever. They stuck it in this machine and took x-rays and run the machine over it to see what my hand was in. And my left hand was all tore up inside. So they operated on it. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't a success. And I've lost 25% use of the strength in this left hand. So I went back to her and I said, can you teach me to shoot right-handed? And so that's what I do now. And I've had courses on, I did one course of actually shooting self-defense. Then I've done multiple courses of classroom study on the law and stuff like that in self-defense. I even done, I can never pronounce his name, that famous trainer, Masoud, whatever his name is.
Masoud Ayub.
Yes. Now, I took his course. It wasn't, he didn't teach it. He taught the person who taught me was trained by him, you know? So that's how he managed to, so I think it was a 2-day course, sitting in the classroom, going over law and how to do things and stuff like that. So I've done that kind of stuff. So I feel I'm pretty well able to take care of myself. I don't plan. I'm going to pull my weapon as a last resort, of course, you know. But I have realized also in that course, as a disabled person, did you know that we have? I'm trying to say, how do you put this? I'm trying to remember. I got it in the book back here because I wrote it down. Basically, if you shot somebody and you were a normal, regular person like New York Outcast, right? And
bad example,
right?
He's normal.
You shot somebody within 20 feet of you who was attacking you, right? Then I was charged with shooting somebody. As a disabled person, we could say, for argument's sake, if we shot somebody at 40 feet, that would be allowable because we're disabled.
I always wondered that.
Because we're at a disadvantage.
Because,
I didn't word it right, but you understand what I'm saying?
Well, it's just like, you know, someone could rush you quicker and, you know, if you're disabled.
Yeah, so if you saw somebody running, if you were sort of like sitting in a, you know, in some banquet hall or whatever, it's 50, 70 yards long, and you see somebody coming up, running right towards you with a baseball bat, I would shoot way before he got to me.
Oh, for sure. Well,
officially, I don't believe you should do that, especially if it's a banquet for baseball or something. I mean, 40 feet is excessive. You actually check your laws and see exactly what that is. You might have a wider perimeter, but I don't believe it's 40 feet.
I'm not saying it was. I was using that as an example.
Yes, I know.
I got it written
but
down.
You got to put that out there that you know,
if I was going to, but
somebody's just running your direction, you know. So,
well,
just to be safe.
I tell you what, if he's at 50 yards across the other side of the hall, he's got a baseball in his hand. He goes, Rick, I'm going to fucking smash her head in. I know he's coming for me. I'm going to shoot him at 40 yards. You know?
well, then you also got to think about, too, you know, the one thing I always say in a lot of my videos and stuff is, you know, if if someone's gonna attack somebody, they are a predator. They're gonna go after what they perceive to be the weakest person in a crowd.
Yeah.
And as a disabled person, I always say this. I said, if I was gonna rob somebody, I would rob myself. You know, if I put myself into a predator mindset that I'm going to fuck someone up, I'm going to rob them, I'm going to rob the guy in a wheelchair because they are an easy target. So, you know, that's definitely something that I always think about too.
Yeah.
But you also have to remember, though, if they're going to attack you because you're an easy target, they're not going to have to run up to you, right?
No,
they'll just walk up to you or something. So.
Or they'll come up from behind you and butt fuck you.
Yeah, I mean, I was being very general. I was just being generalization in the way I was trying to explain it. I mean, yeah, you would have to check into, but we are, as a disabled person, I know for a fact, because I remember in this course they said it, that we have
leeway.
We have leeway because we're disabled.
I always wondered that. I like that.
Well, I think too, if you had to use your weapon in self-defense, it's probably obviously going to be proved you're the good guy, he's the bad guy. He's probably got a past. He's probably in the middle of done something or whatever reason you needed to use your weapon. You know, you shouldn't be the one on trial. I know you end up being that way, but you should not be the one that has to worry about, should I wait till he's closer to fire or whatever? You know, you have to make a split decision. If you can make that shot at that distance, you take that shot. You know,
you should never be sitting there going, is he close enough? Because if you're sitting there going, is he close enough? You're not in that big of a threat. Your life is not being threatened at that point. If you're having to sit there and go, I don't know if he's quite close enough where I'm going to have to, you know, get a lawyer after this.
That's a good point, Guns. That's a real good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, where I'm going is if somebody's threatening you, right? What I'm saying is somebody threatening me from 30 yards or 30 feet, I could perceive that time they've got me in this position, it's going to take me for a minute to move to grab my gun, right? To somebody who's 100% fit at 30 feet, is that person's still not a threat to him?
Yeah, like I was going to jump in here to answer Luke's question. You said, you know, what if you found yourself in a life-threatening situation? If I found myself in a life-threatening situation, at that point, I'm defending myself with lethal force. Now, what is going to constitute a life-threatening situation for me exactly? That's what I run through my head back and forth. Now, we'll use Rob as example one, and we'll use Patriot as example two here. Somebody walks up, shoves Rob. Rob doesn't just get to pull his gun and shoot the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody walks up, shoves Patriot. You know, I think a lot of people would say Patriot be justified in using lethal force. He doesn't know what's coming next.
Oh, exactly.
There's a lot of stuff to go with that. You know, with the whole triangle thing of threat, ability, and whatever, all that. You know,
I mean,
particulars or whatever. But you have to gauge what the threat is to you and what level of damage. Right, you know, and it is going to be specific. Somebody comes and pushes me, that's not a threat to me. You know, if they grab on and start squeezing my throat, you know, or, you know, start punching me in the face and holding me, you know, that might be a little bit more of a threat.
You know, even like for me and Will too, you know, say we get tackled and someone's on top of us, you know, would that constitute as a life-threatening situation? Because we wouldn't be able to get out of that situation, you know?
Well, it depends if you feel it is. No. If you feel that person's there trying to harm you.
Well, I mean, even if somebody grabs you by the back of the chair and starts pushing you in a direction you want to go, you know, or, you know, pushing you down the alley.
I hate that. I've had that done to me numerous times. I hate that.
I've taken the handles off my chair. I don't have any handles. There's nowhere for them to grab me. It's a pain in the butt for my friends and family, but I don't want a stranger to be able to grab me.
No, I said if a stranger wants to grab me like that, they can go and grab my dick for all I care.
Yeah. So, what's going anyway? Well, Willed and well armed. The answer his. Did you answer his specific question? Because I started.
Well, the last time it happened to me was in my car and driving home, and I was sleepy, too sleepy to drive, so I pulled over between a whole bunch of trucks that were all parked on the side of the road. I figured I'd be safe there. Well, some guys just came up to my car and started tapping on my window. I pulled out the pistol, but I just decided to drive off instead of, stick around with them. So I just drove off. I was wide awake at that point.
You said you pulled your pistol?
Yeah, I pulled it. I had it, in my, little Sneaky Pete holster. And,
Did they see it?
No, I just put the Sneaky Pete on the, it was attached to it was on my floorboard. So I put it on the console, and then I just drove off, and they were just kind of, two of them were on the passenger side, one was on the driver's side. So they were up to no good, I'm pretty sure, unless they were just bumming for money. Either way, I didn't want to be around it.
Okay. What about you, Jason?
What about it? Repeat the question.
Luke.
Oh, sorry.
He wants to know what your original question was.
It was just what got you into it, like defensive firearms, like with your disability. Like, was there an instant? Was it something that you grew up with? What transpired you to get into? I like to say tactical firearms and movement, because anybody can go out and shoot a firearm at a target 50 yards away, but like, what made you want to start doing self-defense firearms training?
Oh, well, really, my only disability is old age and a high school education. But I am getting ready to get serious about taking my CCW course so I can carry. I've been into firearms for a few years, but I think it's time with the environment and the things that are going on now that I want to be protected outside my home.
I didn't realize you didn't have a CCW.
No, I don't have one. But hopefully I can get into the May 22nd class here.
Do you have to take a course before you get your carry permit where you live at?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep. One of our, I got signed up last year to take it, and then COVID hit, and they weren't allowing any groups and anybody to do anything last year. And I just got told a while ago, I put the word out that who's teaching, you know what I mean? So I could get one. And I found out one of our deputy sheriffs is going to do a class next month, and he just opened up enrollment a couple days ago. So
good man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Good for you.
Yeah, the only thing with it is I got a friend and his wife that already signed up. You got to sign up through Facebook, and I don't have Facebook. So tomorrow I'm going to have somebody who has Facebook send them the message and see if they could just email me or give me a call or give me their phone number, because they don't have any kind of contact to him outside of Facebook. But I do know it's one of my local sheriff deputies, and he had a pretty nice looking Facebook page about the info and everything.
Send me a message once we get done here, and I'll help you out. All right, I'll do what I can to help you if you need me to.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, my coworker's on Facebook all the time. I'm gonna have her do it tomorrow.
All right, I guess
I see. There's a method to this. It's a her.
Well, yeah. Well, but, I just don't do Facebook, man. Facebook to me is for the younger kids. It's all a bunch
Yeah.
of drama, and I just have nothing to do with Facebook, man.
How old are you?
50.
Huh. You sound like you're about like 30.
Oh, I look young for my age.
Well, I'm Asian too. I look like I'm still 16 until I hit about 70, and then I'm going to look like I'm 130. So,
Yeah. So did we get? Oh, Rob being Mr. Normal, questionable. But
You might want to skip me.
You gonna answer his original question? Self-defense.
Yeah, I can try. I mean, it's kind of a long story, but it's a kind of a lifestyle, I guess. Growing up where I did, how I did, I was told I was different. I had to fight a lot. Been jumped, been stabbed, been hit by a car, all types of different things, I guess. Been through muggings, home invasions. So a few things, and then obviously military, kids. So to me, defense has been something I've thought about since I was walking to elementary school. It's honestly, in a way, shaped who I am, I guess, in a way. But it's just natural for me to kind of see things I think that others don't, in a sense. But when when you deal with threats on a daily basis, sometimes it's just how it goes. So for a while, I probably wasn't a good thing for me to be involved too heavy with firearms, with the people I was associated with. Later in life, into the military and out, basically, I wouldn't live life without one. It's just what it is now.
Yeah, and you've even got a carry permit in New York, right?
Correct. Yeah.
That takes
Which you got to apply to get, just like Jason's saying. You got to apply just to be able to have one in your home. And in my county, there's like 3 levels of permits. So most people have that one where you can have one at your home, go to the range, whatnot. Then there's the next level, which a lot of police security have, which is work purposes. And then there's the next level, which is complete unrestricted except for federal and schools, the normal stuff, which you can get. It just takes money and classes and a clean record. So they gave me one. So that's all I can say.
Boy, I thought Pennsylvania's gun laws sucked. I'm glad I don't live where you guys are.
Hey,
actually, the New York is going to the Supreme Court, and it's going to change a lot if they lose.
Yeah.
So they made it so restrictive, and that almost nobody has one, and so they're fighting it. But anyway, if it gets flipped in the Supreme Court, it'll flip Chicago and about 7 other states as well.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, go on.
I know for me, where I live out in Pennsylvania, you can own any long rifle you want, any type of rifle, AR-15, anything you want to own. You get a concealed without excluding Philadelphia. Philadelphia has their own set of rules, but where I live, I have owned guns, for as long as I can remember. Shotguns, rifles, and everything. And then when I turned 21, went and bought a handgun. Took me 20 minutes. Then I went and applied for my concealed carry permit. Came back in a week. No classes, no fees. And even when you go to renew your concealed carries, they have little substations that are done in municipal buildings all across where I live, where you can just go in with your expired concealed carry permit, give it to them, they retake it and reissue it right away for $15, and you're good for another 6 years. And so, I thought the gun laws here were bad, but I can't imagine where half of you guys live at.
Luke, I don't understand why you're saying the gun laws in PA are bad.
No, I think they're great. I see. I thought they were until I started hearing about you guys. You know, I mean, I guess too. One of the big things though was that, like, especially where I live at, I live in you know, a little bit north of Pittsburgh. So it's very rural. So it's nothing to see a guy go into a gas station with, you know, his hunting rifle in, you know, in like a mount in his truck, and him have a pistol on his hip and walk right into a gas station. You know, that's nothing new to a lot of, you know, around my area. So yeah, I mean, guns. I did think the laws here sucked, but apparently I'm wrong.
When I was in Rhode Island to get mine, I've told this story before. You know, you have to do a course. You got a shooting thing you got to pass, and it's at 25 yards, not 10 feet. It's 25 yards. You got to hit this target. You got to hit it. You got 30 rounds, and you got to get at least 195 points to pass at 25 yards. Not only that is, you got to give them a reason why you want it. And not only that is, you have to sign a waiver for they can check. For some unknown reason, they want a waiver to check all the rehab centers in Rhode Island. I think there were 7 of them, you know, for alcohol and drug abuse, to see if you were ever in one.
Wow.
Then, once you got past that, then you have to sit in front of a board of policemen that they ask you questions, you know. Then I finally got one because I guess I passed everything, you know.
Well, here the biggest requirement, you have to have an 8-hour class, and it's mostly going over laws, you know, and legal part of it,
Which is good.
Yeah. And you do a shooting test, but once it goes from there, they have to give it to you. There's 8 questions that the sheriff has to evaluate you with. And I've seen the questions, and it's basically, if you could pass a 4473, you're getting your CCW here.
Yeah.
And they only go back like 6 years on you, 8 years or something. As long as you don't have a felony, as long as you don't have like a domestic violence or something like that, they have no reason that they cannot give it to you.
That's just crazy that you guys have to take courses, though. The only course I had to take was when I was 12 years old to get my hunting license.
Yeah, same here. Oh, there's no courses in Georgia. There's no test, no firing test. Just all they do is a background check.
Yep.
Yeah. Now
That's
here
all
in
I do.
Indiana, all I had to do was be a resident for 6 months or over. So I had to wait till I lived here for 6 months before I could apply for a permit.
Guns, did you say about
Here,
what you
yeah.
have to do to get yours?
I live in PA, so I mean, literally, I just renewed it back in February. Walked into the sheriff's office, handed them the paper. They took my $20. I had to sit around like 10 minutes to wait to get my photograph done. Then it was in the mail 3 or 4 days later.
Did you smile nice for your picture?
Oh, of course. Wore my every second shirt. Tried to look real pretty.
I like it,
I
brother.
go to a different county than him in PA for my out of state, and same process, except I leave with my ID after the 10-minute wait or whatever. That's what I wait for, is them to print out the ID.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Same deal, $20, about 15 minutes. They print the ID out, and I'm out the door. I just had to redo it during this COVID thing or whatever, so they're still taking people in, but it was by appointment in Center County, PA, if anybody's interested. Center County Sheriff Station. Very nice people.
I will say, too, the one thing
No
I like
BS.
about... Well, go ahead, bud.
Oh, no, I was done. I was just saying there's no BS. There's, you know, if your paperwork's right, you're not in there drunk or high or God knows what, you know, if you're in and out, it's not a problem.
And you said you're in PA.
No, I'm in New York, but I get my PA too because I'm in PA all the time. So it's just for $20, why not? You know what I mean? Unfortunately, no bordering counties will issue an out of state, so I got to drive way in, and center counties where I've been doing business, and they're great. It's a hell of a trip, but it's well worth it.
I will say when I go in to get mine for in PA, the last couple of times I went to go in at the, they set up these like little substations, where you can renew or get them again, makes it easier for everybody. I will say the one really nice thing that I like about it is that, especially within the last couple of years, because everybody knows what's been going on, is I have seen a lot more like people who haven't been around firearms, especially handguns. So they actually have more and more I've seen is they have more and more sheriffs and, even like township police there with, talking to these people who don't know why they, like don't know how to handle a firearm, but know they want it. And they actually give, it's almost like a free course. They go through it with them and explain it to them, and to me, that's something, I think's a great service from where I live, I mean, there was last time I went to go renew it a couple years ago, there was some lady in there. She wanted one. She was, I think she was like 60, 65, has hunted before, so she knew her way around a gun. But it was, the officer that was there showed her a couple different guns, like I don't even think she actually had a carry gun, just wanted it and was going to go, eventually go buy one. But, I really think that concealed carry these days is it's an important right that we all should have.
Yeah. Oh, in the chat here, Jerry Parker says nationwide constitutional carry is what we need. Oh, absolutely. But it's not going to happen under this administration. The only way that's going to happen under this administration is if this Supreme Court case in New York, if the court goes all the way and says any permit is unconstitutional, and that's the only way that would happen. But I don't think they're going to do that. But I think that's asking too much. But also Rich White, because he's in West Virginia, being a veteran, I didn't have to pay to take a course for my permit. I just had to show them proof of veteran status, get a picture taken, and wait for it to be mailed to my local sheriff's office. There you go. Here in, I said in Indiana, you just had to have 6 months being a resident. And it was, I think it was $15. Plus, you have to pay for your fingerprints. Now the law's changed. It's free now. But you still have to pay for your fingerprints because they use an outside agency. The police don't, the local, because you have to just take your application to the police department. They don't have fingerprinting facilities for only people they've arrested, but so you have to use an outside agency. So that's all you got to pay for your fingerprints here, and but the permit is free. So, but for $120, you can get a life one. A life permit.
Yeah, that fingerprint thing in New York where if you're getting the permit, you got to get it done. And the funny part is, in my county, they do them at the sheriff's department, but they still make you pay to go get digital ones so they can send them off to Albany. So they have your prints, but they're going to make you pay $100 to get them another set to send off through outside company. Such a pain in the, I think it's ridiculous. And on top of that, they already have my prints anyway. So it doesn't, it's just so freaking stupid. It does, I don't know. It blows my mind that they charge you for this shit that they have them 2-3 ways over, but God forbid. Yeah, like money just grows on trees.
Hey, out of curiosity, if you guys want to, just out of, I think it'd be kind of fun. If there's enough time, Rick, what's everybody think about showing their CCW weapon? Just quick shot of it. See what everyone's got.
Well,
Can't do that on live there. buddy.
Oh, you can't.
YouTube doesn't want you to do that nowadays. You can do it in a video, but you can't do it live, technically.
Really?
Yes, technically.
Well, I learned another
But
thing.
you can show it. You can't touch it live. That's what the display stands are great for. But if it's sitting on a table and you're not touching it, that's legal by
like,
YouTube standards.
My AR-15's behind me. You can see it. That you can do that, but you can't hold it in your hand.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So.
Shield, baby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, YouTube's rules. You can't handle a firearm, and you can't carry it. Like you can't, even if it's in a holster, you can't be like walking around in front of the camera.
Huh.
It keeps you from doing a live feed, like out in a crowd or something with somebody with a gun.
Yeah, but I mean, to be honest with you, I can tell you what, I carry a Smith & Wesson 380 EZ Performance Center with a gold color barrel, trigger, and grip safety.
Do you carry that cat in your holster too? With
a pink fedora.
Yeah.
You're a
That's the fat cat.
W cat.
Yeah. Actually, one of my cat's not in here. I'll show you a fat cat. Oh, I got a cat that's enormous.
What are you looking at there, Patriot?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Or was that wheeled?
No, it was well armed, I think.
That was me.
My bad.
Yeah. Well,
I ain't looking at nothing.
that Glock.
Oh,
Yes, it's a Glock.
what the hell?
Jesus Christ. We got a Glock fanboy in here.
Well, YouTube will let that go.
Yeah.
No, that was my first Glock I ever got. It was a Glock 19. Throughout the years, I just did a bunch of stuff to it. I mean, I actually like it. For me, that's just my preference. But like I said, I think in another show way back, my brother gets on me because he carries a Dan Wesson 45. So
okay. I used to carry a Smith & Wesson 45 M&P. That was my first carry gun.
Yeah, but my brother swears by his Dan Wesson. I don't know where he got the money to buy that, but I don't know.
Yeah, well, you can make some money stealing in drugs,
No. Drug dealers use high points.
Okay. Anyway, guys, it's almost 8:30. Yeah. So I'm going to wind this down because I'm getting hungry. I'm getting tired. My back's hurting. So I'm about ready to call it a day. And it's been a great conversation.
What you eating, Rick? What you hungry for?
I'm making cheese. Well, it's a British thing. I'm making
Jailhouse sandwiches.
Cheese and pickle sandwiches. It's Branston pickle. It's hard to explain. It's a bunch of different kinds of vegetables in a sort of
relish.
In a relish. It's like a chunky relish.
I ate bacon wrapped hot dogs, so
no, So all right. Jason, you got any shout outs or plugs?
No, it's good to see everybody. Thanks for the invite. I was glad I was able to make your show this time. I've been really busy at work, but glad to get in touch with everybody again, man. And hopefully I can do a show Monday. I just have no guarantees with my work schedule at the moment. But everybody, stay 2A strong. Keep your hopes up and enjoy the weather.
All right, New York Outcast.
Yeah, I guess people could do something nice for somebody else once in a while. Do something nice for your baby and give it its own stand at R&L Displays.
All right.
Other than that, have a great day.
I mean, I will. If I get one of those, I will definitely promote it. All right. Guns and Barbecue. You got anything?
I got the almost nightly firearms expo Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm doing a barbecue chat on Saturday nights now, so check that out, and just be sure to check out everybody on the panel.
All right. Wheelchair Luke, you got any shout outs or plugs?
Just, thanks for having me, Rick. Back again. And some of you guys want to check out a post I did on my own Never Quit story. Check it out. It's on my channel, but I want everybody to keep up their Never Quit story. Keep adding to it.
All right. All right. Will and Well Armed.
Yeah, I was planning on doing some more holster draw videos with different pistols and mess around, see if I could get my time down a little bit down. See if I can get down to 4 seconds this week, and that's about it.
All right. Look forward to it. Okay, the man, the myth, the legend, Patriot in the Dark.
Oh, thanks for having your show tonight, Rick. Sorry I was late.
That's all right.
That's it. I'm just
yeah, you're just messing around with your computer, getting it to work. Yeah,
just playing around.
Yeah. All right, no problem. Thanks for y'all being here and everybody in the my quiz for the swag pack, and this is for the 8th of May is when the drawing will be. So I'm doing them every 2 weeks right now. All right, the question is a mail-in quiz for swag pack. What I want to know is, what is the main handgun used by the main character Spike Spiegel in the anime series Cowboy Bebop? So email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. You got into noon on the 8th of May to get that answer to me. So there you go. All right.
You got any entries yet, Rick?
Yeah, I got a couple. I got 2 or 3 so far. What I want to say, thank you everybody for stopping by and listening to us here tonight. I really do appreciate it. I do every week. But if you got any questions you want to ask the panel here or anything about disability shooting, send me an email. I'll bring it up as a topic. If we don't know the answer, the panel here will make it up. That was a joke. But anyway, same thing. If you got any topics you want to talk about on the Saturday show, email me at the same address for those too. Just tell me what show you want the question brought up on. All right. And as I said, I'll be back here on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, the only time zone that matters. So I will. Oh, Sabrina says I forget the quiz every Wednesday. Yeah, I do. All right. I want to say thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all on Saturday. So good night, everybody.
Good night, Sabrina.
Eat a salad.
Stay thirsty.